first down. The give goes to Weston Dressler. Nothing doing as Brandon Isaac, who's having a great start to this football game, snuffs that out. And the loss there is 3 yards.
That's Brandon Isaac understanding his responsibilities perfectly. He's got to get upfield and contain, get as deep as that football, and turn it in. Read and recognition here from number 28, the Argo linebacker, as he sees that formation. Not allow himself to get outflanked, not allow himself to get blocked at the line.
10th carry of the year for Dressler. But the loss puts Saskatchewan back at the 41-yard line.
5 and 1, 42.
Durant under pressure, steps up and throws underneath. He's got McHenry. But McHenry pushed out of bounds by Marcus Ball, will be well short of a Saskatchewan first down at the 30-yard line. The gain was 11.
Pressure once again on Darian Durant. Forced to step up, hit Scott McHenry, who had come all the way across the field. Take a big lick from Marcus Ball at the end of the play.
By the way, that opening quarter, only the 3rd time this year that Saskatchewan did not record a point in a quarter this season. And now they'll try for a field goal to get on the board here as DeAngelo steps in at the 38-yard line. All his misses have been from outside the 35 this year. And DeAngelis puts it up and throws. Saskatchewan's on the board. Down 14-3 early in this second quarter. Well, in 1956, 2 weeks after the Grey Cup game, an all-star game was played, and afterward, the worst plane crash in Western Canadian history killed 5 CFL players, devastating the league for years. This is the story of one of those players, Calvin Jones, and his grandson, Edwin Harrison. The crash premieres Friday at 8, 5 Pacific on TSN as part of the excellent Engraved on the Nation series. We got a chance to see playing a dangerous game last night about the 1969 Grey Cup. Now, folks in Saskatchewan would point out that a number of the Engraved on a Nation documentaries do focus on Saskatchewan Grey Cup losses. That is not intentional, however. But what a remarkable story those have told, and we look forward to seeing the next installment. So Saskatchewan on the board. Toronto has had great drive starts in this game.
Well, they've owned the field position battle in the early part of this game as well. Every time Sandro DeAngelis has punted, it's been from deep in his own territory.
Owens and Sammy Tranks back to receive the kickoff from DeAngelis. And that's Owens from the 15-yard line. Owens up through the middle, still going, and brought down at the 39. That's where Toronto will start into the wind here in the second quarter.
Right off this kickoff, Matt Black on special teams for the Toronto Argonauts. Targets the kicker, Sandro DeAngelis. Black right on the M in mosaic at the middle of the field. Already getting a head start as DeAngelis is approaching the football. DeAngelis lucky to get his head up at the last second to avoid getting absolutely buried on this play.
On first down, Ricky Ray has time, and now under pressure gets thrown down.
David Bikune, the man who wrestles him down. Bikune, number 94, lines up over in the right B gap, working against the right guard, Mark Parenteau. With Ray forced a double clutch on the play because Terrell Mays had his primary receiver. Chad Owens a little tied up on the play.
Here comes the blitz, and Chad Tucker taken down immediately. Diamond Ferry's there to make the stop. And now, momentum turning somewhat as Saskatchewan's defense comes up with a big stop.
This is what you call having the right play on at the right time. Diamond Ferry's going to come from the right side of your screen and just times this up, going B gap, meeting Chad Cackard in the backfield. Big play there for Diamond Ferry, the former Montreal Alouette. He and Joe Lobendon arrived at the same time to give a little veteran presence to a young Rider defense.
Noel Prefontaine will punt for the first time.
Good job. We're coming down.
Tristan Jackson back to receive. Off the side of Prefontaine's foot, bounces at midfield. Jackson has it, flags are down, and Saskatchewan will have excellent field position. A 31-yard punt, tack a penalty onto the end, and the Riders are in business. Closed captioning is brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey, available now in limited supply at local liquor stores. Dwayne Ford, Lee Jones here in Regina on this Saturday afternoon. The penultimate weekend of the CFL's regular season, and lots to be decided. And Saskatchewan, with his best drive start, will open at the Toronto 45-yard line. Durant under center, fakes the toss to Sheets. And now flips that out, and he's got Neil Hughes. And Hughes dives ahead close to a Saskatchewan first down, a gain of 9.
A nice effort there from the fullback Neil Hughes to fight off that first tackle and pick up a couple of extra yards. Initially looks like the Argos had this pretty well defended. As the backside defensive end, David Lee, didn't bite on that run fake. He contains Durant and forces him to throw that ball in a hurry. Right here, Neil Hughes with a little bit of nice display of balance. Picks up about 2 or 3 extra yards to get into a short yardage situation.
7th catch of the year for Hughes, who only has 1 carry this season. And now 2nd and short as Drew Willie comes in with a short yardage offense. And the give to Sheets has got the first down and more down the 31-yard line.
Nice vision there from Corey Sheets. Not to just bury his helmet in the back of his offensive line, but pick the hole and get upfield. Corey Sheets comes in to this week's 2nd in the Canadian Football League in rushing. Has also been very productive for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the passing game. Team that struggled a little bit along the ground last season. A great find he has been.
On first down, 6 receivers set. This is Carr with a catch. And he's down to the 23-yard line, the deepest Saskatchewan has been into Toronto territory. Evan McCullough and Brandon Isaac there to make the stop.
Roughriders have shown the last couple of weeks that they're trying to get Greg Carr a little bit more involved in this offense. Mid-season pickup from the Edmonton Eskimos, spent the first 2 years of his career with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Those quick slants were kind of his bread and butter during his time in Winnipeg.
Had a terrific Grey Cup game last year for Winnipeg. In a losing cause against the BC Lions. 2nd and short again. This time Durant stays in. And the give to Sheets. Gets outside, he's got a first down. Sheets still going. Fights his way inside the 10 and moves the pile down the goal line. Touchdown. What a run by Corey Sheets.
And Corey Sheets with a little help from his friends. Corey Sheets, the catalyst here as the Saskatchewan Roughriders starting to show signs of life. Gotta love this run. Shows a little speed, shows a little power. Right here, shows a little bit of heart. Great run from Sheets. He's got 4 of his 5 offensive linemen there, pushing him into the end zone.
Angeles puts the point after, up and through, and Saskatchewan draws within 4.
Shop at Safeway to play Safeway $1 Million.
Get his 15th touchdown of the season earlier today, and now Corey Sheets has his 13th on this terrific run.
It really is. They managed to get the edge on this one, get to the outside, beginning with a nice block from left tackle Xavier Fulton. And Fulton didn't quit there. He gets straight on Sheets back. Helps move the pile into the end zone.
So Saskatchewan now with a field goal and a touchdown in its last 2 drives. And the points in this game are coming with the wind at the back. Flags are down. Owens is away. Chad Owens got turned around. Todd Smith makes the tackle. There's a flag down at the 35-yard line of Toronto. This 38-yard return may be negated. And for all the talk about Toronto penalties this year, and there have been many of them, their special teams have been victimized perhaps more than anything.
On the return, holding. Toronto number 42. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Walter Spencer called, and so instead of having the football across midfield, the Argos will start at their own 25.
And this is a matchup of two of the league's best special teams players, the veteran Walter Spencer against the rookie Sam Hurl right in the middle of your screen. Spencer lost his leverage, ended up on Hurl's back.
There's Toronto special teams coach Michael O'Shea. Argos start now at their own 25, and the crowd's back into it. Shovels it underneath. And this is stacked up right away. Odell Willis is there. And nothing doing on that play, as Dury was thrown down hard.
The Argos went for some misdirection here with that full roll to the right, and quite frankly, the way the play unfolds, they'd have been better if Ricky Ray keeps the football instead of flipping it. Odell Willis comes free on the backside and probably would have just kept pursuing to the right and wouldn't have been a factor. But he ends up right in the middle of that run lane as the play comes back to him.
Loss was 4. Flags are down. Ray throws over the middle. Owens has got it. And if the play stands, it's a first down. Ty Bracken was there to make the stop. The wind is not blowing that hard this afternoon, but teams are having very little success going into it.
Saskatchewan number 11. Penalties declined. First down.
Willis goes offside. You can see the flags in the goalpost not showing a heavy wind.
No, nothing really qualifies as a heavy wind compared to what the Roughriders dealt
Correction,
with
we will
last week.
apply the penalty. Be second down.
That game against Montreal where the wind was a deciding factor, whichever team was most productive with that wind at its back.
So Toronto will accept the penalty because Owens was short the first down. So now it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 27. And Willis, maybe the crowd wound up for this 2nd and long. Here comes the blitz. Ray throws. Barnes bobbles it. Can't hang on. And Toronto will have to punt. James Patrick was there on the coverage.
Ricky Ray has to get rid of this ball in a hurry as the Saskatchewan Roughriders load the box and bring heat. And even if Barnes had held on to this football, he wasn't going to pick up first down yardage on the play.
We've got ourselves a Saturday slugfest, although not literally like last week when Montreal and Saskatchewan mixed it up. Justin Jackson back on his own 45-yard line to take the kick for Prefontaine. Low driving kick. Jackson from the 50. And picks up a couple on the return, but Saskatchewan will have good field position again when we come to. Last week against Winnipeg, the Toronto Argonauts surrendered 44 points, their worst total in more than 3 years. It did not sit well with their defense. Here's Lee Jones with more.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Gord. Spoke with linebacker Robert McEwen, who actually talked about the rushing, stopping the rushing game. They allowed 260 yards to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That was not acceptable for them. In fact, after the game, the defense got together. It was a player's directive, not a coach's directive. Went over video, saw some breakdowns, and said it was something that they have addressed all week and would be better at versus Saskatchewan Roughriders. So far, though, Corey Sheets has looked pretty good. In fact, his best game, Corey Sheets, came against the Argos a couple weeks ago at Thanksgiving when he got those 113 yards you mentioned before, guys.
Durant throws underneath. Ty Smith is off and running. Collared down inside the 30-yard line, spun around on the tackle. And the Riders hollering for a penalty. but it's a first down to the 27-yard line and a gain of 27.
Well, this play is made. Remember, we talked earlier about Darian Durant. When he starts running, averages over 10 yards a carry. Well, when it looks like Durant is going to run, watch Marcus Ball come downhill. He leaves his man in coverage because he's so worried about what Durant's going to do. And there you see Taj Smith hauled down by what was definitely at least close to a horse collar tackle.
Or was it the hair? Durant's completed 7 in a row. Now looking deep. In the end zone, incomplete. As he was trying to find Dressler. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Riders. The situation for Saskatchewan, very simple, Dwayne. When they win, Darian Durant has 12 touchdown passes and 1 interception. When they've lost, he has 7 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions.
Yeah, night and day. A lot of that has to do with the protection that Darian Durant gets. If that offensive line affords him protection, he's got time to make those accurate throws. But if they get in a little bit of trouble against the pass rush and the blitz, it can be a long, long day for Durant and the whole offense.
2nd and long. Durant throws, Getzlaff has it, tries to dive ahead for the first down, gets to the 20, but it'll be about 2 yards short on a gain of 7.
Chris Getzlaff ends up lined up as the number 3 receiver. The short side of the field is going to push up and just sit down. Working against that zone coverage. Corey Sheets was out there after that last play, lobbying about 2.5 yards to go. The lobbying, it appeared to stay out there and go for it on 3rd down.
A 27-yard field goal try for Sandro DeAngelis. He has not missed from inside the 35 this year. Puts it up and through. And Saskatchewan is within 1. E's most lovable couple returns. That's right. Ice Loves Coco is back for another season, and their little dog too. All new Ice Loves Coco premieres tomorrow at 10 Eastern only on E.
Well done, Gord.
Went a lot better than last night in Calgary, I'll tell you that. My apologies to Ice and Coco and their little dog too. And here in Regina, a 1-point game, and all the points have been scored with the win.
This was the same trend we saw last week in the Montreal game.
But it was windy then.
A little bit of wind happening today.
First down, Toronto. Ray throws underneath to Mann, and Mann bounces off a tackle, gets out to the 45-yard line, and should have a Toronto first down.
Mo Mann's looking like a guy who wants to stay in that Argonaut lineup. Excellent second effort here from the Argo receiver. Fighting for the first down. Craig Butler comes in high on the tackle. Doesn't wrap up. Mann takes advantage.
6-year man out of Nevada who has previously played in both Edmonton and Hamilton.
Move over.
That's about as much as you can get without getting a first down. Saskatchewan will wrap up the regular season next week in BC against the Lions. Toronto home to Hamilton, which may or may not have closed out Ivor Wynne Stadium today. Still possible that Hamilton could play a home playoff game.